Welcome to another edition of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 121. Today's date is July 25th, 2020. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a while, but I'm back, at least for now. I'm Troy West saying thank you for watching the Solid Sports Video Blog. We're going to talk about NFL divisions. We're going to go division by division in the next few weeks. So I try to come on once a week and do a division. Today's division will be the AFC South. Then I do the NFC South next week, and so on and so on. I'll keep maybe rotate between the NFC and the AFC. Of course, there's 8 divisions in the NFL, so that should lead us right up to the season if we have one. Knock on wood. Like I said, coronavirus still out there. It's starting to trend up again, especially in the South. Here where I'm at, Maryland, we're doing pretty good with it. Our numbers been going down, so hopefully that continues. Like I said, sorry I ain't been on in a while. Like I said, just so busy with work. Work is basically like a 24-hour job. Basically, sometimes I work 36 hours in a row, technically. So that's tough. You know, all my mornings used to be free, majority of my mornings, but they're not now. So I just take the time when I do get it to get some sleep. So that's all I've been doing. But I had a free morning today. I wanted to do it earlier, but I still took a nap. So although this video, I'm saying this video probably post sometime this evening. Hopefully sooner than later once I get it up. I had to get my PS camera back out because I had to do a lot of stuff to get everything rolling again. But it's good to be on. It's good to be back. Like I said, just probably just like everybody have the up and down since this coronavirus especially took over the world. Of course, here in America, our country, going through a tough time right now. Of course, everybody know, unless you've been living under a rock, about the killing of George Floyd in Minnesota by a police officer that turned pretty much the country upside down. There's been other murders as well of unarmed black people, period, or just racial tension in general. I'm not going to get into that today. I probably will talk about it here and there. I want to try to keep it positive, but I'm just very disturbed by this. But like I said, it feels a little different though. The vibe feels different, like change might be coming. I still think it's going to be a while. I got hope for change, but it's going to take people's minds to change. Not even just laws passed, even though they get laws passed. They're doing little silly stuff like taking people off, like changing advertisements like the Uncle Ben's thing. I don't think that's going to do anything. I think real change is going to have to come within the powers that be. So we'll see. But hopefully, you know, we'll have a football season. Like I said, coronavirus down south, Texas in particular, Florida, Arizona. The coronavirus is spiking up again, so hopefully that doesn't affect. Well, the NBA supposed to come back, and also baseball finally got something going. So hopefully, we still able to have seasons. So, but like I said, I appreciate y'all taking your time to watch this today. Like I said, we're gonna focus on the AFC South. So you know that's the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Tennessee Titans, which is this division pretty tough. Of course, I'm gonna do a big preview near the season, but we're just gonna focus on this division today, and that's how we're gonna do it the next few weeks. Hopefully next week, since every day we're doing well with the virus here in Maryland, I do assisted living. My resident's supposed to go back to daycare during the daytime. If that happens, then I'll be able to do more videos. As far as my video game playthroughs, like I said, I had a plan to do Kakarot back in January, but it was copywriting issues with that, so I couldn't post anything. Really, like I said, I haven't really bought any new games. I've been trying to like deserve my money, even though I still ain't been doing a good job of that, to be honest with you. So I haven't really bought it. I bought Rage finally. It was on sale through the PlayStation World of Play Week, so it was only about $20, so I went ahead and bought that. Been playing that a little bit. Probably gonna play it a little bit after we finish recording. But I haven't really been playing anything new. So I don't know, if some games come out in the fall, I might maybe start doing some playthroughs again, or I might just finish. I got some projects unfinished as well with the Sonic Mania and Mega Man, so maybe I'll go back to that. Well, every day looking up by the next week. I should be getting my mornings back, so that'd be good. I can get some sleep and I can maybe record more videos. But we're definitely going to do one of these every week till the NFL season starts. So let's go ahead and get into it. I listed the teams by alphabetical order. Not going to really give too many predictions today. I just want to talk about all the teams in the division. So let's start with the Houston Texans. They had a wild off season so far. Traded DeAndre Hopkins, which was still mind-blowing to me, even to this day, to the Arizona Cardinals. But they did sign Brandon Cooks to sort of replace him, but we'll see how that goes. Deshaun Watson definitely was upset, voicing his opinion on social media. They schedule kind of tough schedule. They get basically the AFC North and the NFC North. So they played the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Cincinnati Bengals, which would be, Bengals are rebuilding, but they get Minnesota and Green Bay, so it's a pretty tough schedule outside the division. Play the Chiefs again. Of course, there'll be a playoff rematch. And they was up in that game 24 to nothing in that playoff game, divisional round. But they wound up choking it away and losing. They got the Patriots on here. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how the Patriots are this year. I can't wait to talk about them. So schedule not no cakewalk. But we'll see if they can finally rise up and get over the hump. They've been a contender for years, even before Deshaun Watson got there. So we'll see if the Texans can take the next step. I wrote down a couple of key points. Is Bill O'Brien on the hot seat? I think so. Head coach, I think this is the year. I think if they wind up flopping or not make the playoffs or have another disappointing season, I think he might be let go. I think some of the players already, not feeling him. As you could tell by when they traded DeAndre Hopkins away a couple of months ago, how a lot of players in the locker room wasn't happy about that. So I think, but he runs it just like the Patriots run theirs. He's a GM and the head coach, so he makes these decisions. Just like Belichick, sort of his formula. But of course, no success yet. Just a couple of playoff appearances, but I don't really think they ever got to the AFC Championship game. I don't think so. And Titans was just a team in the division. So we'll see how the season turns. I think if they somehow struggle or don't make the playoffs, I think he might be fired at the end of the season. To me, I think that for them to have succession, I think the defense got to come back and short. Been disappointed about J.J. Watt, been hurt, for the last few years, but he looks like he's ready to go. I think he would have to have a monster year, and then everybody else will fall in line. But I think the defense is going to be key. I think the Texans are going to score points. They also got David Johnson from Arizona. He was part of that trade with DeAndre Hopkins. What do we have left? So they got a dynamic offense still without DeAndre Hopkins. So I don't think offense going to be a problem. I think the defensive side will have to really step up for Houston if they're going to be successful this year. And can they get over the hump? I don't know. With the AFC, to me, it's two teams and everybody else. That's the Chiefs and the Ravens. I think everybody else, you got potential there. Like even with Tennessee, which we're going to talk about. I think the Steelers might be back this year. Saying that as a Ravens fan, I'm not happy about that. But I think if Big Roethlisberger come back and be healthy, I think they're going to be in the running again. The Colts, they've got potential. Another team is in the division. So AFC got a couple of contenders, but I think it's Kansas City and Baltimore, and then everybody else sort of are trying to find their way. Patriots, everybody say the Patriots. Well, some people think the Patriots will keep rolling. But until I see this guy Stidham play, I'm not, I think it's be the Bills, another team. I just forgot about the Buffalo Bills. Can they take it the next step and take over not just that division, but be a contender for the Super Bowl? We'll see. But I think it's Kansas City and the Ravens for sure. Like, they're the two top teams, clearly. Everybody else sort of have questions about. So, but Houston, like I said, they've been around the last few years. Can Deshaun Watson take them? Maybe he'll take a leap and improve. And the DeAndre Hopkins loss won't hurt him so much. But we'll see. But Houston will definitely be a contender for this division for sure. All right, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts last year didn't make the playoffs. I think they were 7-9. Had Jacoby Brissett as a starter. But now they made a big move, signed Phillip Rivers after the LA Chargers let him go. And I think the season gonna be, no offense, but I think he's still gonna have a lot of pressure on him, just like he had in LA and LA, San Diego Chargers. It depends on how much season he had. Do we still have something left? There's a lot of question marks about that. But to look at their schedule, everybody in the divisions have a similar schedule, but since you finish, I think the Colts finished third in the division. So you got the Jets on here, they got Chicago Bears, they got the Las Vegas Raiders. A couple of get winnable games, but they play the NFC South as well. So they play Green Bay and Minnesota, and they get the AFC South. So they play the Ravens, the Browns, the Steelers, and the Cincinnati Bengals. So and then you still got your division games. So winnable games for the Colts. This will be their chance to bounce back. A lot of people, Andrew Luck shocked the world and retired right before the season. Maybe I think it was about a month before the season he retired. So Jacoby Brissett took over the starting job, but they still was a pretty decent team. Got a lot of young talent on both sides of the ball, so we'll see if those players improve this year. I think that's going to be a big factor as well. But yeah, I don't know if Phillip Rivers still got it. I'm a fan of Phillip Rivers. I like Phillip Rivers. I like his competitive fervor. He don't quit. He's going to compete. He's going to give you all he got. Whatever he got, he's going to leave it all on the field. But he's going to have a monster year. I think everything else around the Colts are okay. The defense pretty decent with the young guys on that side of the ball. Offense is going to be Rivers. Got the young running back. My mind's going blank right now. I need to start writing more stuff down. But they got a decent offense. They got players around Phillip Rivers to maybe get the job done. But the big elephant in the room is T.Y. Hilton. He came out and said he want to finish his career in Indianapolis, but he still don't have a new deal yet. So we'll see if that get worked out. Maybe before the season, maybe during the season. We'll see. But he had a rough year last year. He was hurt in and out the lineup, so hopefully he bounced back. But my expectation for the Colts, they might be sniffing at the playoffs. Like I said, the AFC, other than the top, to me is sort of wide open. I think they have a chance to compete for this division as well. But it all start your division. When your division games, everything else usually falls into place. So their schedule not as tough as Houston's. So maybe they could slide in and win the division if they be able to beat them head to head. But I believe in Phillip Rivers enough. I think that they can maybe sneak into the playoffs. But it's going to be tough. I think, like I said, they compete with a lot of other teams. So we'll see. Like I said, they might just win this division as well. So that's a possibility. So we'll see. But I like the Colts. I don't think they're going to be no doormat team. I think they're going to have a good year. But it depends on Phillip Rivers, so hopefully he doesn't get hurt. But if he does, they still got Brissett, so you have a decent backup. So they just got to win their division games. I think that's what, they do that, they got a chance. Let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, of course. Not as much expected of them this year. They signed Nick Foles to try to compete, but he didn't work out there. He's already gone again. He's in Chicago. Bears signed him, so they went with the young Gardner Minshew. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Jaguars respond this year. Like I said, the schedule's pretty similar to everybody else in the division. Yeah, pretty similar to the Colts. They play the Chargers, though. That's the difference in the Miami Dolphins. Of course, they was in last place, so they played out of last place AFC division player, East and West. Schedule, like I said, a little easier, but how much talent did this team have? They had a rough off season as well. Lost a couple of players. So we'll see. But is Minshew the answer? I don't know. He showed flashes last year, but Jaguars, I think the receiving core needs help. I don't know how they did in the draft per se, but he needs a little bit more talent around Leonard Fournette. Can he bounce back? He had an up and down year last year. He's looking for a new contract as well, so will they let him walk or what? I think they picked up his option though. But I think the big question about the Jaguars, will they just sort of tank unofficially? And some people say they are. They're going with Minshew, and then hopefully they get a high pick next year's draft and try to get Trevor Lawrence or maybe another quarterback who emerges like Joe Burrow out of nowhere, and they can restart there. But if Minshew does do well and they win games, I think that's not a bad thing for the Jaguars either. But like I said, I don't expect a lot from them. I think they'll compete. It's the NFL. I think they schedule will help them too. They probably still win at least 5 or 6 games, but have a chance to do a little bit better. But we'll see. I don't expect a lot from the Jags this year. Maybe they is looking forward to 2021 and getting another quarterback. But if Minshew, if he struggles really bad, probably just stick with him and continue to lose, basically on purpose, even though it's not, you can't tell the players that, but they just don't have the talent. And I do expect them to finish last in the division, but maybe they're surprised, maybe they're surprised to people. Some teams come out of nowhere sometimes. Maybe the Jaguars will be that team, but other than that, I really don't think so. I just think they just don't have enough. I think they struggle this year, but we'll see. You just never know when the NFL teams come from, especially with the virus. A lot of teams, not really working out like normal. So maybe, that could benefit them instead of hurting them. All right, final team in the division, the Tennessee Titans. Made it to the AFC Championship game last year. Oh, pardon me. Actually, like I said, they jumped on the Chiefs. Took an early, 10-0 lead, 17-7. And the Chiefs turned it on just like they did all of the playoffs. Even in the Super Bowl, did the same thing, had to come back. But Derrick Henry is unbelievable, man. They franchised him, and he signed the tender, so he ain't going nowhere. But as long as they got him, and that defense continued to improve. Ryan Tannehill played well last year, but as you notice in the playoffs, he ain't do too much of nothing, so maybe he had to take a step up. So we'll see. They got some young talent as well around them, so we'll see how the Titans play this year. They schedule, like I said, a little tough. They got the Bills on here. Like I said, they got the NFC, so they got Green Bay, Minnesota. The AFC South, North with Baltimore and Pittsburgh and that whole division. But got Denver out west. So a couple of tough games over here, but like I said, you win your division games, you definitely got a chance. So we'll see with the Titans. Like I said, surprised some people last year. Did win the division, but played in a wild card game. Was able to beat the Buffalo. Who they beat? They played. They beat the Ravens in the divisional round, and the Chiefs, of course. but it was someone else, of course, they had to beat to advance. Dang, that's just going blank. But yeah. So they they was hot last year. But like I said, Derrick Henry is the man here. So if he plays like he normally plays, they go compete in every game. Mike Vrabel, the coach, another New England protege. So probably play a similar style to Belichick. So we'll see. But where do they stand? I think they, like I said, they got the potential to get as far as they did last year, because you get in the playoffs, they play that, run the ball, good defense, they don't beat themselves. That's how they got far. But they like what Lamar Jackson said, they took him for granted, last year in the playoffs, which you can't do in the playoffs, period. And Ravens looked so sloppy in that game. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I'm trying to think, who did the Titans beat in that first round? Really don't remember. I really have to look that up. I know they played the Ravens in the divisional round because the Ravens had to bye, and then they played the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Houston beat Buffalo, so I remember that game. They beat the Patriots. Yeah, there we go. They intercepted Brady. Yeah, that was another shocker too, because they had to go to New England. They won. Yeah, so they beat New England in the wild card round. That's what it was. And Tom Brady last pass was an interception. They took all the way back to this. So yeah, so pretty much was underdogs all three of those games in New England. Even though I gave my chance against New England, but I just thought, the Patriots way, they don't lose at home in the playoffs. I thought they was gonna lose that game, but they went up there, shocked them, and they beat the Ravens. And they, like I said, they jumped up on the Chiefs, but Patrick Mahomes was just too much. All playoffs, period. No matter who was on the other side, he started slow, and then he just started turning it on, and that's what he did to San Francisco in the Super Bowl as well. So, the Titans got a lot of potential. They have potential to win this division as well. They need to somehow sign Derrick Henry. Even though I know running backs not valued in the NFL, but he just fits what I think what Mike Vrabel want to do. Just the identity of this Titans team. So I think they need to try to, lock him up if they can. They gave Tannehill a deal, so they obviously going with him. But yeah, the Titans have potential. They have a lot of potential. They can make it to the Super Bowl. Not saying that they will, but they have the potential because they could beat anybody with their formula. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see who win this division. I'll make a more bold prediction, more a broader prediction later on, once we get closer to the season. But definitely the Titans, Colts, and the Texans could fight for this division. Jaguars is the only team I pretty much think ain't going to be too well this year. So, but yeah, we got through it. We got through all 4 teams. Like I said, we'll do this every week. For the next 7 weeks now. There's 7 more divisions to go. We're going to do the NFC North next week. That's the Packers, Bears, Vikings, and the Lions. We'll look at those 4 teams next week. Like I said, I thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. I just hope that we have a season. Like I said, coronavirus still out there, so things could change between now and then. So hopefully things continue to trend up. For the most part, things have gotten better, but like I said, down south, things are starting to get out of control again. So we'll see how things turn up with that. Like I said, I'll be on every week. I'll be on next Thursday again, and I'll do the NFC North. Like I said, just stay safe. Put your mask on. Like I said, it was scary to go out. I don't go out a lot anyway, even before this, but I only go 1 or 2 places, and yeah, I just put my mask on and try not to touch too many things. Then when I get home, I usually throw my clothes in the dryer and wash my hands immediately, and so far that's worked. So but also practice the social distance 6 feet apart. A lot of stores here in Maryland, they basically force you to do it, and I think that's a good idea, because some people sort of lackadaisical, just so used to doing what you normally do, but the world has changed, man. It's like it's almost normal now to see, to wear the mask. Like it used to be weird, now it just feels more normal. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully things will get better. Hopefully they come up with a vaccine or something. People have lost their lives, so just be safe out there. Think about your fellow neighbor. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't put them in danger. Wear your mask. Do what you're supposed to do, and everything should be good. But that'll do it. I'm just rambling now. Like I said, this is a tough division. The AFC South. This is an interesting division. The one we're going to do the NFC South. I'm sorry, so I messed that up. Doing the NFC South next week, even though I could do the North of the NFC, since that's who these two divisions sort of crosses each other this year. But I'm gonna do the South, the NFC South. So that's Tampa Bay, which I want to talk about. Tom Brady, how they gonna do. The New Orleans Saints had some off the field issues with Drew Brees. Since the George Floyd's clear that he said he will always stand for the flag, but he sort of walked it back. Things have calmed down, but they was all over him. So how that locker room, that affect him on the field, we'll see about that. So Tampa Bay looking to the Atlanta Falcons, but a lot of teams are forgetting about. They got made a sneaky deal, got Todd Gurley. Do we still got something left in the tank? Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, they got a talented team. Atlanta's been sort of like Houston, been a contender, actually made it to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Just always been disappointed. Dan Quinn, is his job on the line this year if they struggle again? I think he was just about to get fired last year, but Atlanta turned it around, made a push, even though they still didn't make the playoffs, but they started winning games near the end of the season. And who else left in that division? The Carolina Panthers, sort of rebuilding. No Cam, he's gone. They gave Christopher McCaffrey his deal, so new dream there in Carolina with Matt Rule. So we'll talk about that division next week. If you want to check out some of my other projects on the channel, some of my video game playthroughs, every day's still up. I haven't took anything down, just haven't been doing anything. But like I said, I'm definitely going to do this once a week. And if we still have NBA season, I'm going to look at that once things get more crystallized there. And we're going through baseball season too. Only 60 games, that's going to be wild. So I definitely talk about those things in the coming weeks. And I appreciate you guys coming here, giving me your time today. Everybody stay safe, love one another. Like I said, it's been a struggle out here, man. Like I've been having my ups and downs, man. Like this week alone, I mean, I've had some personal stuff happen to me, man. Like, just been trying to stay positive. So hopefully y'all do the same. Appreciate it. I'm gonna say hi to my man Derek right now. I got a feeling he's gonna watch this video today. Former coworker of mine. He always come on there and say something funny in the comments. So shout out to you, bro. And my brother Darwan, and everybody else that give me love. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of the week. I'll see y'all next Thursday. Lord's willing, I guess. And thank you so much. Be safe. We just watched the Silent Sports video blog, episode 121, preview of the AFC South. Thank you so much.